Welcome back to another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester magazine. I'm your host, Damon K. Jones, joined by my brother, A.J. Woodson, and bringing that fresh perspective, Larnaz Kinsey. Every Sunday, we pull back the curtain on the issues shaping our families, our cities, and our future, from health and safety to policy and power. It's because our mission is simple. Put the people first, not the politics. It's going to be Blacktastic. Black Westchester's New Spring 2026 e-paper is now available, featuring the life and legacy of Bob Law, breaking news, and stories that matter to our community. Read it now at blackwestchester.com. Are you ready to put your brand in front of the people who matter? Black Westchester magazine is your platform. With over 90,000 monthly website readers and more than 250,000 YouTube viewers every month, we give your business unmatched exposure. From email blasts straight to our subscribers, to video commercials, website promotions, and targeted campaigns, we've got the tools to help you connect, engage, and grow. Whether you're a local business, a national brand, a rising entrepreneur, or just promoting an upcoming event, Black Westchester is where culture, community, and commerce meet. Contact us today, or scan the QR code and start building with us. Don't just advertise, be part of the movement, be part of Black Westchester, be Blacktastic. Black America first. Yeah, Black America first. Fix the house, fix the fam, let the blessings burst. Own the land, own the plan, put the people to work, no more mule. Got a sweet tooth? Come to Cupcake Cutie Boutique in Mount Vernon, where every day is a reason to celebrate. Fresh homemade cupcakes baked with love. Stop by 8 South 6th Avenue and taste the cuteness today.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome to Black Westchester magazine, blackwestchester.com. The People Before Politics show, Sunday Rundown. And I am the publisher of Black Westchester, Damon K. Jones. And thanks for everybody that watches the show, everybody that supports blackwestchester.com, independent Black media. Make sure you go to blackwestchester.com and get the latest e-paper. We are a real newspaper, brothers and sisters. We are a real newspaper, and we're here to give it like it TI is. One of our co-hosts cannot be here. Larnaz Kinsey will not be here. AJ is working his way in, and we have a guest that will be on at 7. We have a guest that will be on at 7 p.m. Her name is Harlem, and her partner LRK will be on, and they will be discussing that she will be the executive director of the Harlem Rise Collective, a Harlem-based nonprofit dedicated to empowering youth and strengthening communities through mentorship, entrepreneurship, wellness, and cultural engagement. And that's what we need, brothers and sisters, within our community. We cannot sit and wait for a politician or wait for some of these civil rights organizations to come in our community and do for our community. We must start to do for ourselves, and literally do for ourselves in our community. So stick around. But before that, brothers and sisters, I want to go through some local news. Oh man, watching from the plantation. Oh, good luck and thank you. Thank you for checking us out. We miss you here, Sister Larnez, and tell all the plantation people what's up, what's happening. But so I'm going to do a show on Wednesday. Wednesday, I'm going to be talking about. It's been 6 years since one of my mentors have passed away, Dr. Julio Cavallo, and he was the president of the Independence Party. I am not a Democrat or Republican. I'm an independent, and I don't play these politics tricks, right? So I don't play the political games and all this nonsense. What's up, AJ? What's happening? So I was just saying, man, it's been 6 years since Doc has passed. And
rest in peace.
And I'm doing a show on Wednesday. What political power meant from Dr. Cavallo's perspective. And I'm showing a couple of videos of what he said. And I wanted to start off today, and playing a clip of what he talked about years ago to basically what we have to do as Black people. It's about your interests. It ain't about a political party. It ain't about Republicans or Democrats. It's about your interests. What is your interest? Reggie Lafayette used to always say, right? There's no permanent friends or permanent enemies. There's only permanent interests. And I actually, in one of the shows I just did last week, I actually found the originator of that statement. And he was basically more talking about nations, how nations deal with each other as far as alignment in their interests. 1 minute, you have two nations are working together, and then that nation finds its interest with another nation. And that's basically where that slogan came from. And then it morphed into what Reggie was saying. And a lot of people talk about what Reggie was saying. But I wanted to play I wanted to play Cavallo. Damn, I got to bring you back in. I don't know why this thing. I don't understand why this thing is doing this. But anyway, I wanted to play Cavallo, 6 minutes of Cavallo for people that are watching. They did not label him the most powerful man in Westchester politically for nothing. And y'all know the white Westchester News magazine, the one that says Westchester magazine on top. They did not label him the most powerful man in Westchester just because they liked it. He was a power. He wielded the Independence Party, and it had power. And it just didn't support Republicans. It supported Democrats. And in some cases, if it felt it could run its own candidate, it ran its own candidate. And everybody came to literally kiss his ring. AJ was at functions. He saw it. I saw it. And I'm going to tell, people a story. Andrew Stewart Cousins came late to one event. She came late. It was almost over. And Doc said to her, Andrea, I'm happy that you came, because if you didn't, you wouldn't be senator next election. He said that to her face. And I was standing there flabbergasted. Right? How did this dude tell the leader of the Democratic Party in the Senate that you won't be senator next election if you did?
She wasn't leader yet.
Well, I think she just became.
Oh, okay.
I think she became
But the point is who she was. Like,
the point was made whether she was the point was made whether she. I saw it, brother. I was there. And yeah, and this is why I try to have conversations with people, because some people, especially black people, never been into those circles and saw those type of conversations.
yo, so the first time you took me, right after my mom passed, we was like a 1 or 2 years into Black Westchester, and there's the fundraiser, and then there's after the regular people go and what goes on afterwards. And because of you, I got to hang out in the back afterwards, smoking the cigars, and the whole nine. And what I heard in that next hour or so was amazing. It
Exactly.
was like, did so and so? Oh no? Okay. Okay, did so and so? Okay. He was just like, check it. And then it was like, when you say kissing the ring, that's a term that's often overused.
Right.
Um, People were, case in point. So there were not a lot of black people in that room, the first one. And if you were a black person, you were somebody who's supposed to be there. You had judges and senators and congressmen coming up to me because they were wondering why they didn't know who I was, because I was in that room. So they were walking up to me, introducing themselves. And then when Docs had us stand up and mentioned Black Westchester, and then said, he went on the show and said people that everybody need to come on the show. Yo, I'm certain they were walking up to me, talk about, oh hey, I'm Congressman so and so. Doc said I need to come on your show. Here's my card, and I'm sitting here like,
Exactly.
and I had never been, I was new to politics because I told you I wasn't really politically active before Black Westchester. Everything I know, I've learned because of stories I've done. So I had never seen that kind of power. Even the first time I met him, I used to tell a story about how Black Westchester got started. I was in the hospital with my mom. You had me come videotape a press conference you were doing because I needed a break, and it was the four parole officers, and Doc.
Oh, he came out. Yeah.
And then he was like, come to lunch, bring him in. So I'm sitting there at the table, not really knowing who he is. And if you close your eyes, I swear I was listening to Joe Pesci. Like this dude, this fucking guy. Yo, for real, I was like, yo. And I ain't really know how he got down yet. So I refrained from saying, yo, you sound like Joe Pesci. Word up. So, but yeah, man. And then after that lunch, you sent me the article from Westchester Magazine. So I was like, yo, that dude was kind of cool. You sent me the article, and it said the most powerful man in Westchester. I was like, yo, dude, I was just sitting across the table from this dude, like chilling, and I tell people I learned a lot from Reggie Lafayette. I learned a lot that I know about how politics really go beyond what everybody tells you and everything, but about how it really goes. I learned a lot from Doc. Like, I learned a lot from him. Just the one or two times I actually had a chance to pick his brain and to listen to him, and then the interviews when he came on the show. And then another good memory, since we talk about him, my other good memory of him was we had him on the show, and we had Paul Feiner on the show, and we had Yusef Salam on the show.
Yeah.
Way before there was a documentary, and before everybody had him on shows, way before he was city council. When
Right.
everybody had him on the show afterwards. So
when he was getting himself together, and I don't even think they got the settlement at that time.
No, they didn't. So we had him on the show, and you have him and Doc sitting on one side, and Paul Feiner, Greenberg Town Supervisor, on the other side, And it's the first time them two white men heard the story. They read the news.
Right.
They heard, but when Yusef told his story, like you could see that these two white men were moved because
Right.
they never heard it from that. Like to the point that Paul Feiner was sending me articles and stuff he was working on, like checking legislation to make sure stuff like that couldn't happen in Greenberg, because Paul is really
Yeah.
Paul, you gotta love him, but sometimes he's extra on certain things like that. But he was genuinely moved though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then on that show, what we were talking about term limits, and Paul at that time had been, I don't know how many years it had been, and we were talking, and he was like, "Yeah, man," he's like, "I endorsed the dude because like the Democrats don't respect him, the Republicans don't respect him, but he keeps winning, so I just endorse, I just give him the endorsement." like I was
Yo, Doc,
these are like some memories that I had of Doc, like you know what I'm saying, that were really cool. But I learned so much in them rooms behind. Then he had us his birthday party. He invited us to the birthday party, and I gotta be like, yo, that was the freshest tasting lobster that I've ever tasted.
That was at Anthony's, right?
Was it Anthony's? I don't know.
Yeah, it was upstairs. Yeah,
it was upstairs. Okay.
That was Anthony's. That was Anthony's.
Yo,
yeah,
it was like that just came out the water. Like it just, it was like like they just caught it just for this party. Like I mean,
exactly.
I had lobster before, but I had to be the freshest tasting lobster I had in my life. But just again, being in that setting, which was like an informal setting of him and just his inner circle and people he respected. Right. It wasn't like a lot of elected officials and stuff like that. This was like
it was just crew. It was just his crew.
And I got the association with you. I got the role. So, the stuff I learned in those rooms, the stuff I heard after the fundraisers in the back of the cigar sessions, real talk. Like I learned a lot about how politics work and real power in politics. That's my biggest
that's where it hurts, because once you see it, you can never unsee it. But the problem is Black folks haven't seen it.
And because of him, we started the Mount Vernon Independence Party. And put a scare in the Democratic Party.
Oh yeah,
we major scare in the Democratic Party in what was that 2014? Yeah, 2014, 2015. That's when Andre ran 2015 that election.
We made history in Mount Vernon as a minor party. We got the most votes ever as a minor party, and we only had 2 months. See, this is what, and it scared, and what happened? It scared the Democratic Party to do what? Endorse her the next one.
Oh yeah, we took a candidate that was relatively unknown.
Exactly.
And we only had from
what do you mean relatively unknown? Unknown,
period. But we only had, this is when the primary was September. And before it was the June primary like it is now. And we had from the primary, right after the primary, not even from the right after the primary to November, we literally wasn't even 2 months. It was more like 6 or 7 weeks. Like, you know what I'm saying? And she got so many votes in the election. She didn't win that election, but she got so many votes that when she ran again in 2015, 2017, they made her one of the nominated candidates because because if they didn't and she ran and we had the regular time that everybody else had on the campaign for her, she would have won and been one of the first times you had Independence Party candidate win an
Reggie,
election in Mount Vernon.
and Reggie could not
Yeah.
afford it. And this is for all you people that are watching, like, this is the blueprint for Black America. But we too busy. We too damn busy trying to think that the Democratic Party is the Black Party, or this is where we should be. We should be our own negotiating team, because it's been done before. And Cavallo was the one who did it in Democratic stronghold Westchester County.
That was the threat. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm just like,
let me finish. To the point that the Republican Party re-registered about 60 or 70 people in the Independence Party to try to vote Cavallo out. And he was successful enough, and anybody watching can Google it. He was successful enough to kick him out.
Yeah, it was so many people that the Republicans had registered as independents, and this is the first time I learned the word political decapitation. That's what the judge called it, because what they tried to do is take over the party and then oust him as the head.
Mm-hmm. And then they would control.
He took them to court, and the judge had them ruled that all of them had to be removed from the Republican list. They had to all be from the independent list. And he took them to court, and like he said, you can Google it, because it was definitely a big story. But like, that's the one thing I learned. It was like, and this is before things got as divided as they are now, and as so far left and so far right. Yo, if you were a Republican, but he lent his power, his support behind you, you could win one of those races that you probably couldn't win without the party. And forget about that. Being a Democratic stronghold that Westchester is, there were Democrats that only won because he gave his endorsement to them at the last minute, and them independent voters voted for the person. Ernie beat Maureen in Mount Vernon only after he got the support from and Ernie won by, she was up by 100-something votes, and Ernie ended up winning by 100-something votes. And those were the independent voters. That's literally what it was.
And me and Maureen is cool, but it wasn't Maureen's fault.
Right.
What the people in Fleetwood did to me, and Doc pulled the line. I was sitting right there in the diner. Me, Doc, Sam Zerka, Michelle Johnson. When Ernie called Maureen and told her that he's not giving the line, he's giving it to Ernie. I mean, when Doc called Maureen and said, we're giving the line to Ernie. It was right there. I was sitting right there. So we have to understand our power as block votes, that we should not just automatically give it. And I'm just saying, the most dumbest thing I ever heard as an adult is vote blue no matter who. What do you mean no matter who?
I never heard that expression. I heard vote roll A all the way. I never heard that.
No, vote blue no matter who. I've heard that.
Yeah,
that's the most ignorant. Let me tell you something, Democrats. That is the most ignorant thing. And anybody who runs around and repeats that is ignorant. What do you mean no matter who? Many of our communities are in the conditions that they are in because the person that we voted for.
I did an article well over 10 years ago, well before there was a Trump in the presidency. And it said some of our greatest urban cities were destroyed declined under Democratic rule, and
Yeah.
it was and I was using this statistics and data, and it was a pretty big article. It kind of went viral, and
No, but it's true. And this is my problem. This is why we have to focus on local elections.
yeah,
Trump has nothing to do. Just listen, your kids can't read. Your kids ain't been able to read for a while. Your kids was failing in reading before Trump came down the escalator. Let's just have real conversations. And we don't want to have these real conversations, and it takes us off the focus. The focus is local communities. The focus is your city council, your mayor, your school board, your county legislator, your county legislators. If you got a sheriff, your sheriff. That's your focus.
and your. I always said this when we started getting involved in the DA race. Yeah, for all of y'all talking about criminal justice reform and all of that and all that kind of stuff, your district attorney race is the most powerful race that you can vote for as far as justice in your county. And for all of y'all marching and all that and fighting for all that, this is one of the things. It's free. This is one of the things y'all can do. So get involved in that race and supporting, knowing who the candidates are and supporting. Like we purposely helped Scarpino get out of office because he was terrible.
Mm-hmm. So let's get into because the guest is coming on in 20 minutes. I got two other stories I want to talk about. Let's get into Doc real quick.
Doc is the only party chair that has shown up to press conferences on police brutality.
Right.
He's the only party chair. He's the only. That's a round of applause to support.
Thank you.
Police oversight. Okay. Well, I just wanted to get that in. That's a jab at Reggie Lafayette because he never showed up. But, Doc, can you show us?
Well, Reggie was busy. He had to go to Molino's restaurant that day.
Let people know what the Independence Party is about. That.
Well, basically, this party was called the Fusion Party, and it all began with Ross Perot when I got involved. And the first meeting that we had was in 1989-90 with some of Ross Perot's people. And Mayor Giuliani was one of our participants and other people. And it became they called it the Fusion Party. People are dissatisfied with the Democrats and the Republican, conservative, what have you. They have a third-party choice.
Right.
And basically, we are a progressive party.
Okay. Okay. Great. Now, a lot of
and by the way, and we called it the Independence Party. And people say, well, they think it's the Independent Party. That's why we have 500,000 people registered in the state of New York.
Right.
They
try to discredit your membership, saying that they checked off by mistake.
By mistake, right? And in fact, I did a mailing once. At that time, we had 18,000 people registering just in Westchester County, and I sent a little card saying, "Listen, we are called the Independence Party. We are the third largest party in the state of New York. It's not the Independent Party. If you want to be disenrolled from it, we even sent them a little sample sheet to send to the Board of Election and to cross off the independents and put whatever they want it to be."
And one of the things that's sort of interesting about the third parties is that every 4 years during a gubernatorial election, the parties that get the most number of votes get row A, row B, row C, row D, row E. So there's a number of political parties running. You have the Democrats, the Republicans, the Working Families, Independents, the Conservative, the Women's Equality.
Jesus.
And everybody is competing to get more votes than the other, because if say the Independents gets
Less than 50,000, you're not a party anymore.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And then you have 4 years to become another political party. But
That's right. Actually, when we started, we have accomplished more in the last 16, 17 years that the Conservative Party has accomplished in the last 40, 50 years. The only thing we haven't accomplished is that we don't get jobs from the political party.
Well, that's
people.
what you would
Yeah.
have been.
In other words, if you go to Westchester County, that's right, Damon. If you go to Westchester County, 90% of the third-party people are conservatives, and they have jobs galore. You know, but going back to what
the county executives, mothers,
boyfriend.
oh well, that's another story. Yeah.
even a member of the independent
I don't
party.
like to get into sexual things. You know, I'm not into that stuff. But the point is that Paul Feiner, the supervisor, is right. When we first started with the Independence Party, we
Right.
had over 250,000 that we got on the line. Then then other people realized what we were doing. In fact, there was also a friend of mine a couple of years ago that he wanted to start the Tax Enough Already party,
Right.
and he actually screwed up because when he was doing the petition, he never put the lieutenant governor. But we could have won that in court. They didn't
Right.
want to do it. So
Right.
now everybody's learning that. So you have the gubernatorial people right now. They're
Right.
doing the same thing. They started what did they start? The
Women's Equality.
Women's Equality Party.
Oh, so they actually starting that's they doing a party on that.
That's right. In fact,
Wow, I didn't know that.
They're on the ballot. You see, they got enough signatures to be on the ballot, and it's a little strange
But
system
I
the way
think
it works.
I think that the goal is for the Women's Equality Party to take votes away from working families and independents. Wouldn't you think that's an indirect goal?
It could be a possibility. I think it's going to
Are
take
these-
away.
Are these women single?
Well,
I just had to ask.
Please
Well-
choose a sponsored video. Your content will begin shortly.
What are you doing over there, man?
Checking the screen.
do we continue?
Yeah, yes, please.
I apologize.
Yeah,
That was me playing or checking the technology.
First of all, I like to say I saw the first commercial yesterday.
Oh,
And Cuomo did an excellent job. I mean, he had his 3 daughters and his future wife, I presume, and it was very well done in a nice, tasteful way. You know, I mean, I believe as a third party chairman of a party.
Sponsored video. Your content will
AJ,
begin
hold on,
shortly.
hold on. Are you all right over there, bro?
System is acting up, yo. It's not me. Go ahead.
Okay,
Well,
all right, go ahead.
we started talking about women equality. Everybody got excited.
Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was.
But I believe, like in Europe, and I think Paul might be with me on this, that the more party that we have in the state or in the country, we have to.
So,
to require gun shots.
so basically, brothers and sisters, you know,
Yeah, I remember that. But the system was acting up. I don't know what the hell was going on with the system.
having another party. Now, you don't have to be like, you do not have to be in one party or the other. Like, stop it. We must mature enough to have our own agenda, and then let them come. Let them come to us for our votes. Trust me, you'll get it sooner or later. They'll give you what you want. We have to stop being scared, man. We have to stop being scared because sooner or later it's not even going to matter. As far as the population, we're at the bottom, and Black America is at the bottom. So what are you going to do? Because I tell you straight up, I like a lot of Democrats, but the Democratic Party ain't the Black Party. And I got a lot of friends that are Democrats. I got a lot of Democrats that I support. But it's not the Black Party at all, because look at the outcomes.
There is no black party.
No.
I mean, let's be clear.
No. I want to jump into the next one. I don't know, AJ, did you do the article yet? Because they're trying to wipe out manhood and womanhood.
No, I didn't get everybody's response yet, and I didn't get the legislation. I'm still getting whether it passed.
Oh, no, it passed. It's going to her desk. Here we go.
It all has to do with replacing the words mother and father with gender-neutral terms. Morgan Mackay is here to break it all down. So what are we talking about, Morgan?
Hey, Steve, Natasha. So the bill actually passed both houses of the state legislature, and now it awaits Governor Kathy Hochul's signature if she decides to sign it. But the bill passed so fast and with no debate that several lawmakers were privately shocked when they learned it passed both the Senate and Assembly. If Hochul signs a bill, the words mother and father will be removed from family court law and replaced with gender-neutral terms. Mother would be replaced with gestating parent, and father would be replaced with non-gestating parent. The bill's memo argues that this new language is more inclusive, and it takes into account that a biological parent doesn't always mean that they are an actual mother or father in a child's life. For example, if a child is adopted or born from a surrogate. But critics of the bill argue that this change is unnecessary, especially when lawmakers only have one more day left of the legislative session before they leave Albany for the rest of the year. Republican Assembly Minority Leader Ed Raw weighs in. And we also asked Governor Hochul if she will sign the bill, but she avoided answering directly.
We don't think it does anything to make New York more affordable on a permanent basis. And that's what New Yorkers are talking about. That's what they care about. They want to know what we're doing to make their lives more affordable.
I'm not familiar with what was introduced late last night, so I'll take a look at it, but I have until the end of the year to review them and make a decision, so I won't be commenting on pending legislation.
Now, we also reached out to the sponsors of the bill in both houses for an interview or even a comment, and they declined.
So talking about declining. So talking about declining, when Damon sent me the article, of course, so I Googled it to make, because I double, triple check all the, the credibility of the stories. And then I reached out to several of our state legislators, many that I do have on speed dial, Assemblyman Nader Sage, State Senator Shelley Mayer, Assemblyman Gary Pretlow. So Shelley Mayer was the first one to respond. Nader was the first one to tell me, because what I asked, I was like, yo, good morning, I'm seeing this. Is there any truth to this? That's what I asked him. And then I asked him, so did this come up to vote? Is this something you support? Why is this necessary? So the only person who really it's Nader Sage, Assemblyman, who also is not running for re-election, I believe.
Right. Go ahead.
I believe that they, you can see my story on all the people that are running in Westchester. I think there's a primary coming up in a couple of days for his seat, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, he said no. I voted against it. It's a bad bill. And he said the governor, I'm sure, probably will veto it. So that was the only other person who reached back out to me right away was Shelley Mayer. She first told me it was still voting, because this is when they were still voting here. I believe it passed both houses, but I'll check. And I was like, yo, so my comment to her was, without knowing more, this could give the MAGA GOP ammunition going into the midterms where Democrats have a real chance to take back control. And then she said she would send me the proposed legislation. I have not seen it yet. I reached out to Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart Cousins' office, and they said they were the local office in Yonkers. They said they were forwarding it to her Albany office. I have not heard back from them. I'm giving everybody, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I'm gonna do an article. I let them all know I'm doing an article. But so here's the thing. We've always been critical of the Democratic Party, taking our votes for granted and stuff like that. But sometimes the Democrats fumble the ball on the 5-yard line. And it seemed like a setup. The bill bill, the reason of midterms, I can't see her signing it as something. Yeah, I hope she doesn't sign it either, because signing it, this, where you have alternate facts, misinformation, all this stuff going on, fake facts, fake news. Um, this bill alone is enough for a rallying cry for the Republicans to use all over the country going into the midterm, talking about if you vote Democrat, that's what you're going to get. There is no reason to get rid of the terms mother and father. And in child support cases, unconfirmed parent will be unconfirmed parent will be alleged parent. That's the only other part I remember off the top of my head. There is no reason, when we have real things that people care about, the prices, you have to make life choices at the gas pump. Am I going to get a gallon of gas or a gallon of milk? Because both of them are so expensive these days. Milk, egg, bread, everything is expensive. Everything is going up. Affordability for housing affordability is a big issue here in Westchester and in many other communities that we live in. There's a lot of what you call pocketbook issues or tabletop issues that everybody is dealing with, and the Democrats are supposed to be that party. And instead of making these cases that they should, they're passing a bill in New York. The fact that this bill passed both the Assembly, the New York State Assembly, and the New York State Senate is a problem. And if for Andrew Stewart Cousins to be the majority leader, that means the Democrats have the majority in the state Senate. So this is, Republican, Democrats, regardless. This is the other side want to use the word woke. They co-opted the word woke, and this is going to be an example of the woke Democrats, and it's going to be a problem. And if Governor Hochul signs it, she's just going to give ammunition to what's the Republican running, Blake, the Nassau County, Nassau County executive. I forget his name. It's just going to give it's going to give him ammunition to challenge her for governor. Bruce Blakeman, that's his name. You're just going to give. Oh, thank you. I looked it up and you already put it up. I mean, you're just giving ammunition on why people shouldn't vote Democrat. And you wonder why Trump is winning elections and this MAGA movement is successful, because people are tired of giving their votes to one party that takes your vote for granted, and you don't see nothing from it. And then you have movements like this. I'm putting it out. I'm putting it out there. Everybody should call their state senator and their state assembly person and ask them, did they vote for this? And if they did, why? They should question what was the purpose. Why was this bill necessary? And if y'all all need to be calling the governor's office and telling the governor, don't do it. Don't pass this. Veto this. Don't do it. This is
No.
when we talk about politics being a participatory sport. This is where all y'all need to get involved. Y'all need to call your state senators and call your state assemblyman and call the governor's office.
Let me tell you something. I'm straight up, and I know you writing your article. I'm about to do a video in this week, but I'm also putting a statement out. I will never, if this is signed, I will never vote for a Democrat again. This is horrible. On a political level, it's horrible. On a spiritual level, it's even worse. It's even worse. If we call ourselves Christians, Bible tells us what? To honor your mother and your father so your days will be long. It didn't say gestation parent.
Yo, gestation parent, what the hell is that?
I don't even know what it is. And I don't even care. I don't even care, bro. And it's sad that at this point, you don't hear anything from these pastors. Nothing from these black pastors, Al Sharpton and all these other people that always skin and grin in front of these politicians. And now they want to take mother and father off. And it's just not, yo, AJ, it's just not the birth certificate. They're legally changing family law in New York State.
Right, I talked about that with the child support. Even the terminology like paternity cases will be now known as parentage proceedings.
This is insane.
And while the punitive father, commonly used in cases involving an unconfirmed biological parent, will now be labeled an alleged parent in official.
Let me tell you something. See, and it's funny. You could Google. I haven't seen it on MSNBC or CNN. I've been looking to see if they actually played it.
I don't know. I caught MSN is where I caught it in one of the other channels. I haven't checked since then. But again, this bill, to be clear, the bill is sponsored by the senator who's a Democrat who represents the Bronx, and Amy Pollin, who's a Democrat that represents Westchester. It was pushed through the Assembly in March and cleared the Senate this week, and it now heads to Governor Hochul's desk. This was pushed by Democrats. This is
exactly
the Senate was sponsored and pushed by Democrats, and opponents wasted no time unloading on the proposal. It's woke culture run amok. It's one upmanship, says Conservative Party Chairman Gerard Kaiser, calling it an example of how out of tune the New York legislature is, an unnecessary and wasteful use of time. Now, I don't agree with a lot of things coming out the Conservative Party, but the unnecessary, that's the word that I've been using the whole time. Why was this necessary? This is definitely unnecessary, and I agree that this is definitely a wasteful use of time.
Oh, well, now let me explain something. Black people, y'all have to separate yourself from this foolishness. I've been saying it for a long time, because we sit here and we be silent on the foolishness, and it makes us look foolish. We're silent on AOC running around the country bastardizing the black struggle and black history, and nobody calls her on it. And then when this stuff runs, they think we down with this nonsense. I'm not down with it. Huh?
I was talking about Bruce Blackman, the Republican. He's already gave his statement. Democrats, led by Kathy Hochul, continue their declaration of war on New York families by canceling the loving terms of mom and dad and replacing them with gesturing and non-gesturing parent. This insanity ends when I'm governor. Again, this is what I was just saying. You're giving unnecessary ammunition, like, and it's a slippery slope because the conservative chairman said he warned that the measure could open the door to more legislative language overhauls while pointing out more pressing frustrations in Albany, such as the state budget that's nearly 2 months late. Sorry, not years, 2 months late. See, he said, imagine people who are considering moving to New York, seeing this and saying,
We're not coming to New York.
wait, seeing, do I need this silliness?
Exactly.
This is a really weird group of elected officials, and this comes out of left field. Yo, I'm questioning all of, and I'm putting on a record here. And please, if you are a representative of any of the state representatives, let them know Black Westchester is demanding answers from.
Oh, stop. Jeff. Jeff, let's make sure it's coming from the Democratic Party. It's coming from the Democratic Party, bro.
They
wrote the legislation.
Yeah, I just read the articles. I just read the two sponsors. The two sponsors is the Democrat out of the Bronx and the Democrat that represents Westchester. They sponsored the bill, and it's like, but I demand, and everybody should be doing this. Your state representative, did they vote for this? Like, the only person who told me is Nader and said I voted against it. He is the only one that I've reached out. And to be clear, I did not hear back from Gary Pretlow, and I have his cell phone number. And I
anybody that, let me tell you something. This is it. Anybody you didn't hear back from voted for that shit.
I did not hear back from Senate Majority Leaders Andrew Stewart Cousins' office. I did hear Shelley Mayer, and I did hear from Nader so far. I'll be reaching out to everybody else, but I did not hear. Nader is the only one who said he voted against it. And it was a bad bill, and he voted against it. He says that. You know what I'm saying? He is the only person so far who said they voted against it. So I'm going to be reaching out to everybody over the next day or two, and those who don't answer, I'm going to list who answered me and who didn't. And y'all all need to be putting pressure on the governor, who's up for election soon, and she's going to.
Oh no! Hey, listen, no. Listen, Senate members who voted yes, right? Joseph Aldabato Jr., Jamal Bailey, April Baskin, Liz Kruger, Zelnor Myrie, Gustavo Rivera, Zechariah Ramos, John Liu, Shelley Mayer, Pete Hackman, Andrew Stewart Cousins, and others for a total of 38 votes. Senate members who voted no. So it's right here. There's a link where you can find everybody to vote.
Send me that. And
the bill is here too, because I downloaded the bill from you.
Yeah, send me that. I've been dealing with a lot of other things, so I didn't really get a chance to get all into that. But yo, this is a very bad. Yo, so I'm gonna show you how crazy this is. There are very few things in this day and age today, June 7th, 2026, where Damon K. Jones and Dr. Robert Baskerville agree on. And they both agree that this is unnecessary.
Well, that's your party, bub. That's your party, bub.
Yeah,
that's your party.
When I was talking to him, he's like, yo, send me the article. It was right after I talked to him after I talked to you. He's like, yo, send me the article. He said, yo, this makes no sense. And I was like, yo, dude, like, and there is a lot of people that don't know yet. You know what I'm saying? They didn't see it on the news. Actually, only
No,
because you sent it to me. You sent it to me. That's the only reason I knew.
Because only the conservative news is talking about it.
Well,
See,
I honestly haven't been watching a lot of news lately. So
no,
I'm just coming off vacation. I
watch the news, right? Yeah. I watch the news. That's all I do.
No, I'm saying I just came off vacation and I was toned off of the news on vacation.
No,
I haven't got back to it yet. So, yeah.
The last couple of days, that's everybody been talking about, but it ain't been coming. It ain't been coming from the left-leaning news. They ain't saying shit about it.
Well, that time of year again.
Well, I mean, it can't be an infiltration if the leader of the party is signing off on it. How can it be infiltration? You're the leader of the party.
How can it be what?
Infiltration. Infiltration where? Listen, these democratic socialists got these Democrats shook in New York State. They got them shook. They got them shook. And they don't have the testicular fortitude to tell these fools to sit down. They got them shook. If you're passing this, you're shook. You're just worried about getting reelected. And then, listen, I've said it before. Most of our civil rights have just sold out because the money's coming from there. The money's coming from there. Urban League, NAACP, the money is coming from there. National Action Network, the money is coming from there. They're getting that money. So they can give a damn.
So you made a comment and I wanted to Google it. Left-leaning media, the only one that I really see, MSN, I'm not sure what they are, left or right. They're kind of in the middle, I guess. But Huffington Post.
You talking about the real MSN?
MSN, yes, not MSNBC. Yeah. MSN.
No, they're fair.
That's
right?
what I said. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
So, but Huffington Post was the only real left-leaning. I just Googled it, and when you come up, you see Fox, you see the Washington Post, you see the New York Post was owned by same people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Only one I see, like Fox News, New York Post, Washington Times, COL Live, don't know what that is, the Advocate.com, the Hungarian Conservative, the People's Gazette Nigeria.
Yeah, yo, I saw that.
But you know, the reason I'm reading these out, this is the first page of the search. Like, what you don't see and would be there if they are, would be MSNBC, well, MS Now. I don't see CNN either.
Right.
I don't see ABC. I don't see WABC, NBC, CBS. I didn't see any of, like, those would be in the, those would rank in the top on the front page. The fact that news outlets like the Hungarian Conservative and the People's Gazette of Nigeria, and the Finland News, the reason those show up on the front page is because
Amy Pollin was a sponsor.
Right, for the Westchester, yes.
Exactly. Like what is Amy?
Yeah,
what is
I couldn't pronounce the Democrat's name right. That's the name right there. You just took it down.
What?
That's every time I put it up, you take it down.
When you see the link, when I send you the link and it comes up on the page on the Albany government page, his face is there. Right.
No, but I want people to see one more time. These are the sponsors. For everybody questioning, these are the two Democrats who sponsored this. I didn't know how to pronounce the last name of the Bronx guy, so I wanted to put it on the screen. And Amy Pollin from Westchester. So no, this is not infiltration. This is not whatever.
No, these are career. Well, Amy Pollin has been a Democrat since she has been a Democrat elected official since I started corrections. So you talking about she got over 20 years. She got at least 20 to 30 years in city government. And she was a big person. They was talking to be the first female county exec. She could forget that. She could forget that. As far as I'm concerned, she can forget it. If you're gonna run for county exec, you might as well forget it. Because those are the two. And Shelley Mayer, like, hold on. Did they say she voted for it? Hold on a second.
You said her name.
Yup. Come on, like, what are we doing? What are we doing, people? Pete Harkham. Come on, what are we doing, Pete? What are we doing, Pete? What's going on? It passed the Assembly and the Senate. Are you
yeah.
Are you serious?
So
hold on. This
is gonna have. I'm not sure whatever your thinking was to do it, but what is going to happen is you just gave ammunition to the Republicans, and that's going to affect the governor race here locally. That'll affect the next county executive race. That's going to cause y'all to possibly even maybe lose the Senate, control of the Senate and the Assembly in New York. Like there's a lot of consequences to. I don't see the advantages to this, and it was very unnecessary. You put the names up.
I'm trying to find. Okay. Here's the votes. 38 nay. I can't. Oh shit! It's not.
When you send it to me, I got to look at it because it's too small on the screen for me to really see it.
Yeah. But I'm trying to, for people that are watching. This is the page. So you see 38A, 23 nay, 1 absent, 1 excused. That's the bill. But I gotta figure out where you could go to actually see who voted. It has to be somewhere up in here.
Well, I'm telling you, for people that are watching on the screen, it's too small on the screen for people to see this.
Yeah. But this is for anybody to say that it ain't true, or is it? Listen, there it is, man. There's the guy that supported it. Here's the dude that supported it. All right, I zoomed it in. Democrat. This is Democrat. Right, and then now y'all can see it was introduced, it went in committee, right, for both houses, it went on the floor, right, and it passed both houses. So can nobody?
No, nobody. I put it. That's what I said. Send it to me, and I'll put it in the story, and you see all that. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying, on the screen right now, it's too small for.
No, and Joshua, you're actually absolutely right. They're destroying. This is how you destroy the nuclear family. They have been working on this for the last 20 years, especially the black family. Y'all better get it together. Black people, you better get it together.
So I want to address Jeff Anderson says, okay, got it. Republicans doing the same thing to Black America, to all of. Listen, but the Republicans, the Republicans are not pretending to be the party of Black people.
Exactly.
The Republican is not the party. The Republicans are not the party that majority of Black people vote for. It's the Democratic Party that we vote for, and it's the Democratic Party in this case that is doing this to Black America. And we're not even talking about, we already know the Republicans don't care about us. Listen, we ain't even debating that right now. We're talking about the party that you support, that you give your undying loyalty to, that takes your vote for granted. And that's what we're dealing with here.
Exactly.
Stop by saying the Republicans do the same thing, which is true, takes away from the point we're making here about what the Democrats are doing right now. The Democrats in New York and this bill and what this means is what we're addressing right now. Anything else is just, you're just talking just to be making points and not dealing with the fact that this is going on right now and this is what they're doing. And anybody who can't hear that, who comes with, oh, the Republicans are doing the same thing like that, you just don't want to hear this. And I can't do that for you. So
listen, if you can,
Black Americans need them all to be voted out. The new Black Party voted out the new Black Party representative.
I don't even see that. Where you see that?
Jeff.
Okay. Yeah, they do take our vote for granted. Absolutely.
Well, Shay Darden, shout out to Shay Darden who's tuned in. So Black people need to become registered independents and make both sides work for our vote. Shay, I have been a registered independent since 2015. Damon and I actually started the Mount Vernon Independence Party, which eventually, when the chair of the Westchester Independence Party died, it kind of, that was our support, and we didn't keep it going.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm an independent person. Came, he's running for town clerk. Came to get his signature. I happily signed his signature. He had his little walking list, and he knocked on my door, and I signed for his signature. So it is what it is. No, we need to be independent, and I don't know. There's no real benefactor behind the Independence Party, because let me tell you what the Democrats did. Since all y'all Negroes want to push up like the Democrats are for democracy, let me tell you what they did. So it used to be to have a third party in New York State. I don't want to hear about Trump. I don't want to hear about anything when I tell you the story, and the story is facts, and AJ will back it up. If the Democrats are for democracy, you can have a third party, and it used to be whatever governor you pick to run for governor, if you get 50,000 votes in the governor election, you'll be recognized as a third party, political party in New York State.
And let me stop you right there. For anyone who, we just showed a clip of the former Westchester Independence chairperson who said that in the clip that we shared earlier. He said those very words. Was sitting next to Paul Feiner. That was 50,000. At that point, it was 50,000 people. Go ahead, David.
So now, when the Democrats took total,
Dr. Cavallo,
if you're coming on late, if you rewatch it in the beginning, we talk about him and we play one of the videos. And on Wednesday, I'm doing a whole show on Dr. Cavallo because this is the 6th anniversary year of his death. So I'm doing a whole show on him and how he talked about political power and how to use it. So anyway, when the Democrats took control, they moved it from 50,000 to 150,000. So now they made it harder for third parties to exist in New York. They made it harder now for third parties to exist. Because let's say you don't like the incumbent, and you support, you don't like the incumbent governor, and you support the opposition, and you don't get that 150, and he doesn't get the 150,000 votes, you do not become a party. The Democrats did that. So they sit here and they talk about all this democracy BS. But what they do is just control power. And there's a lot of Democrats I love to death. Andrew Stewart Cousins, I love her like family. I've known her all my life. She knows my family. But that doesn't change the political process and how the game is played. So, and recognizing what the game is played.
So just dealing with on a local level, when Damon and I went and we started the Mount Vernon Independence Party, the Mount Vernon and Westchester Democratic Party saw it as a threat. When Damon and I and several others formed the Westchester Black Political Caucus, which was going to be trying to unite, the young Black power in Westchester and create somewhat of a pack so we could support candidates, the Democrats told the party told the Democratic candidates not to show up and not to be involved. When Damon and I first started People Before Politics in 2014, Democratic candidates were told not to come on our show. And they even said when they came on the show, I don't know why Reggie and them told me not to come on. Like, this has been one of the best interviews I've got. Like, several of them said that. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, Doug Colte and the Republicans were telling the Republican candidates not to come on. And the few that actually had the balls to come on, they were, strong supporters of Black Westchester because they respected what we were doing. So, it was the Democratic Party locally that was trying to, because we were holding truth to power. And Democrats are in control, so we were holding them accountable. Those are the elected officials, and they had a problem. I mean, even when Damon and I first started Black Westchester, so we were exposing some of the things that were going on with Mount Vernon elected officials. And you know what they said about me and Damon? They said that we were making Mount Vernon look bad. The people who were doing these things, the people you voted for that were doing these things, they weren't making Mount Vernon look be bad. We were making it bad because we spoke about it. Before us, you had like the Mount Vernon Inquirer, who used to do the happy, joy stories, and they really didn't hold, and a lot of the Democrats used to stick their head in the sand and hope the problem would get better. Well, it didn't work. So it was time for some change. And, what the real problem was, I talked to Todd Milburn, Emmy Award-winning reporter former reporter of News 12. He said, Damon, he said, we have no idea the stories that we did that they didn't even know what was going on, that they only knew what was going on because of us, and then they would do their own investigation and do their own story. You know what I'm saying? They were talking about not just them. They said LoHUD, ABC, NBC. He said, y'all don't understand how many people y'all brought. There were stories that may not have been big enough or might not have been under the radar for mainstream media that we actually brought enough attention that now more of the mainstream media realized that there was an issue, and then they did stories that they wouldn't have done. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and he said, y'all don't understand how many times and Ty was like, he said, there's so many times y'all did stories. And we was like, oh, and we took them stories and we ran with it and didn't give y'all no credit. He told me, he said that. He said y'all wouldn't get no credit for it, but we wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And it's like, but I'm just giving you examples of when you have people that hold feet to the fire, and when you have people that are calling things out, instead of addressing the situation to make it better, the thing is to attack those people, attack their credibility, attack them. You know what I'm saying? Instead of dealing with what the situation is.
Hello.
We exposed several people that the people ended up voting for anyway. And then when they found out what we said was true, came back to us and said, "Oh man, I should have listened to y'all. What y'all said was right." Yeah, but y'all didn't listen when we was telling you all this stuff. You know. So anyway, it's our own. You got an echo. I don't know if you're still on the phone or whatever, but you got an echo. You got some kind of feedback on your side. I guess that's our guest.
No, Harlem just came in.
Yeah, no. I'm saying, but you got. Is your phone? Yeah.
How can you hear me? I ain't got no volume.
Yes, Damon, we hear you, and we can hear the feedback from your phone or whatever that is. Yeah. Now you're good. Now you're muted. Yes. So anyway, we're moving on, but we have been telling you since day one, you have to hold your elected officials' feet to the fire. You vote for these people. You have the right to criticize them, to question them, because you vote them in. They can't. Your taxpayers, your tax dollars pay their salary. They only have the position because you vote them in, and then they get mad when you question them, and they take your vote for granted, and you keep giving your vote to the same people. So that's on all of you. So we're gonna move forward because we've been discussing that for a while. And Damon, would you introduce our guests? You got to unmute yourself now. You muted. You're still muted.
Here we go. Y'all hear me? All right. Welcome, Harlem Edwards. Harlem Edwards is the founder and executive director of the Harlem Rise Collective, a Harlem-based nonprofit dedicated to empowering youth and strengthening communities through mentorship, entrepreneurship, wellness, and cultural engagement. Welcome, sister. Welcome.
Thank you.
First time on Black Westchester. What's happening? What's going on?
Thank you. I want to just say peace, love to the brothers. I'm sorry I had some technical difficulties jumping on this, but I'm here.
Okay.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, thank you.
And shout out to Sister Larnez. Her job mandated her to stay at work, mandatory overtime, so she couldn't be here. So she apologized for not being here, but you know what I'm saying, she set this up. So introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are, what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all, fellas. My name is Harlem Edwards. Like you said, I'm the founder and executive director of the Harlem Rise Collective. We mentor youth in these three facets. We educating them on the importance of wellness. We are educating them on the importance of travel. And we're also educating them on the importance of entrepreneurship. I really appreciate you brothers for having me on the show. Hello, everybody out there on the cyberspace. I'm sending so much love. You see, I got the pink on today. I'm just sending a lot of love out. It's Sunday. Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
So what made you, how long have you been doing this? What made you start this?
You know what's crazy? That's a really dope question. Is that how long have I been doing this? I feel like this is my life's work. Off the books, I have been doing this all my life. But when it clicked for me, I've been doing this for about 6 years now. Okay. I started my work in the restorative justice field. I moved to New York City. I'm originally from Harlem, New York City, but I lived in Atlanta for 11 years. I went to college at my HBCU. Big shout out to Fairfield State. I'm a big Bronco HBCU graduate. And then I lived in Atlanta for the last 11 years where I learned
what part of Atlanta was you at?
Oh, I literally lived in the heart of Atlanta. I lived on the west side. If you guys know about Atlanta, you know about H.E. Holmes. I lived on the west side of Atlanta. And then my roots are really, really from I live in Buckhead. So that's where I lived in Buckhead for a very long time. And then, but I'm like I said, I'm originally from Harlem.
I was in Smyrna and Marietta for about 10 years. and then I was in Decatur off Wesley Chapel for a little while too. So
Decatur way is greater. Zone
yeah.
6. I know what's happening. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up, brother. Yeah, man. I started my career there. I really for 11 years while I was in Atlanta, I've been an entrepreneur. So I started this work in entrepreneurship and learning how to develop a business. It's so crazy, right? I want to tell you a little short story. When I was in college, I would struggle with money, right? Like all college kids do. And I was like, yo, I gotta figure out something. And I started doing parties in my dorm. I had a cousin. If anybody out there knows about Fayetteville, right? There's only one or two reasons why you're in Fayetteville. Number one reason is that you're in the army. You're in the army, right? It's the biggest army base in the East Coast. And then number two, you must be going to school out there because what else is in Fayetteville, right? So when I got to Fayetteville, I had to try to figure out like what to do for financial things. And you know what? The thing that I love the most is I love to have a good time and I love to connect people. So it's no mistake that I connected with Larnez, and she's a connector, right?
Absolutely.
Which she has me on this show today. So big shout out to Larnez. But I started throwing parties in my dorm, y'all. And I would charge $5 to get in, and you can have alcohol and you can have fun in my dorm. And it started with 10 people. And as the years progressed and I really learned the business of partying, I've thrown some of the biggest pride events in the world. I've hosted people like Nicki Minaj, Dej Loaf, Fetty Wap, and the list goes on and on and on. But now I'm here working on my life's mission. Being back in Harlem taught me a lot, right? I started to see myself in the young people that I was interacting with, right? I'm talking about the young people that lived in my building, y'all. I'm not talking about young people that's in Brooklyn. I'm talking about as soon as I moved back to Harlem, I started seeing young people in Harlem and I started to educate the young people in Harlem, right? And so I got connected with the Institute of Transformative Mentoring. So I started working with the new school, and we developed this program for formerly incarcerated people, or systemically impacted people, right? Because it has grown since then, and it brought me to the thought of how are we educating our young people in very unique ways, right? Of course, we expect our young people to go to school. We expect them to go to college. But how are we educating our young people on real life things, right? On how, like my life, right? I'm an entrepreneur. I haven't held many jobs in my life. So I had to figure out how to create passive income for myself, right? So once I did that, I started to mentor these young people, and I created this program called YEP, and it's called right? It's the Young Entrepreneur Program, right? Where I took 15 young people throughout the city, and we helped them develop their businesses, right? We helped them create logos. We helped them create the mission, which is not that fun, but the logos was fun, or whatever was fun for them, right? And we helped develop them and help them develop their businesses. And we graduated 15 young people in 2024, and starting their very first businesses. They made a lot of money. We did like a youth innovative workshop for them, for the community, right? So where they were able to like actually see the work that they did, they were actually able to like create a marketplace and actually sell their businesses to the community. So that's kind of really how I got started in the game. Where I'm at now is I have developed a building beyond the block program. So I want to back up for a second before I get into the building beyond the block program. I'm a world traveler. I'm a black young woman from Harlem, New York City. Neither one of my parents have passports. I was the first person in my family to obtain my passport. And I created this goal for myself. I said, yo, I'm gonna travel to 50 countries before I'm 50. 50 countries before I'm 50. And when I got to country number 22, I said, hold on. I have to like reach back in my community because when I tell people that, they're always just like so intrigued, right? But like, how am I impacting my community? I always kept thinking about that. So I developed a program called Building Beyond the Block where we help assist young people with traveling the world, right? We also assist them with obtaining their very first passports. So I'm extremely proud of where my org is at. We're very young, we're very grassroots. We're not really like broadcasted like that, but I'm so happy for platforms like this because we're able to talk about the work that we're doing right here, boots on the ground. I literally just left a session with my young people because we are about to do this young moguls pitch contest, right? I am going to help 10 young people pitch their businesses and community, and the first prize winner is going to win $1,000. $1,000. We're gonna help fund one youth to get $1,000 to assist them with developing their businesses.
I'm feeling on a building beyond the block. I used to live on 115th and Lennox, and I used to have a shop in the Mart across from the Apollo when it was there. And what I saw when I was living, not just there, but what I really saw there were people who their whole world was between 115th and 117th, from Lennox to Fifth or whatever. That was their whole world. Like they might have went downtown a few times. They might go up there a little, you know what I'm saying? But their whole world and their whole reality was just that. Your school's in that area, your supermarket's in that area, your laundromat. Like they don't leave that area, and that's their whole reality. And we have a lot of that, you know what I'm saying? And you don't really, I used to, as a rapper from the 80s, the late 80s, early 90s, I got to see the world. You know what I'm saying? I got to travel the world, not just travel the country, but travel the world. It gives you a different view. You got a different viewpoint once you've seen the world. Once you get more worldly view than that 2-block radius that you live in, and that's all you see. So just the title, Building Beyond the Block, really struck me. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to applaud you for that.
Yeah, man. Thank you. And you know what? That's exactly where it came from. Because while I was mentoring these young people, I started to discover that when I was mentoring kids in the Bronx, they was like they never been to Brooklyn. They never been to Queens. To me, that was mind blowing for me. Like I was like, wait, in some areas, that's a 30-minute train ride. What are we talking about? Like I didn't get it. And I was just like, you know what? And then I broke it down, like how you just explained it. And I said, think about their block radius. Everything is on a block, right? The laundromat is right there. The school is right there. The restaurant is right there. Their favorite restaurant is right there. So what will compel them to think beyond the block, right? And I started to use my life as an example, right? Because while I was with these young people, right, and and I wanna show this, right? I don't usually do this, but I want to show this. I dress just like them. You know, if I come in with the Balenciagas and they say, "Dang, how you get those?" You know, like they're looking up to that, and I say, "Listen, it's not about the Balenciaga or none of that. It's about what you think is your reality." And that's really what it is, right? So if you think that you can't do something, you're absolutely right. Like I love to educate my young people on that because everything that you think is absolutely right. So the only thing that set me apart, because I want to keep it I want to keep it real with y'all brothers. The only thing that set me apart where I was able to travel to now 24 countries, I'm halfway at my goal, is because I thought I could do it. It's not because I have a 6-figure job. It's not because I have a high-paying gig or a high-paying salary. Those things are not true in my life. But the power of thought, right? I'm teaching these young people how to create so that they can get invited to Bali. You know, when I went to Indonesia for the first time, I got invited based on my content that I promoted on social media. So I want these young people to know that it's not all about the money. It's about your brain. It's about what you can produce. It's about what you talk about. It's what you promote. It's how you exude excellence, right? And these people will say, "Please come," and they will accommodate you. You know. very well, in fact, right? So that's what building beyond the block is all about. Is me just empowering young people to take back their power
That's right.
and to learn about creativity, to learn how to create with nothing and turn it into something.
Absolutely. So Lynette said, "Love you, Harlem," and then she sent me a question for you. How can community members continue supporting the Harlem Rise Collective after the event?
Awesome, awesome. That's a really really good question. I think that what we are looking to do now with the Harlem Rise Collective is to expand our reach, is to continue to grow. So what the community can do is to join, right? To volunteer, is to get beside us, right? Because it is gonna take more than just me to spread this message. But if I get my brothers, right, to spread this message with me and to say, hold on, I know somebody that could really benefit from this program. That means a lot, that goes a long way. And the more that we continue to push this agenda of like the youth, they shouldn't just have one outlet, which is school and college. Like, let's talk about the other things that are available for them. You know, I did say when I first got on here that I am a college graduate of a HBCU, but when I first got to college, I had no clue. I had no clue what to do with my degree. Even when I graduated from college, I'm still not using my degree today. So I would just want us to know that there are many ways that young people can be influenced outside of just school. So I wanna be intentional about educating our young people on entrepreneurship. I want to continue to educate our young people about wellness, right? I'm also a yogi, right? And what kept me level-headed enough to produce these ideas is because I learned how to breathe. I learned how to meditate. I learned how to exercise my body. I learned how to use my mind as a real strong tool, right? So that's really what we could do is to really spread that awareness to our young people that the brain is very powerful. Your heart is very powerful. These two things are the most powerful things that you got,
That's
right?
right.
These are more powerful than money. You could have a $1 million and not have this or this. So it
That's
ain't
right.
about money. It's about what you got in here. It's about what you got in here in that heart. So if we keep spreading that message, even if you don't like the Harlem Rise Collective, but if you like Launchpad, if you like what they got going on at Team Brown, right? These other small grassroots organizations that are really educating the youth about real life scenario situations. If we're educating the youth about Blackgate and what we're doing over there, right? I think that is more impactful than anything.
So how for anybody who wants to know about you, social media, website, how they can follow you and find out more about you.
Yeah, that's a really good question. We have a website. It's called the Harlem Rise Collective. So that's the harlemrisecollective.com. That's our website. You can directly go there. You'll find our social media, you'll find our programs, you'll find our upcoming events. We actually are hosting a really cool block party in Harlem. I don't know if you guys could come out and live stream it, but I see that you guys have a business and you guys are doing some really powerful things in the community and you're spreading the word. So I want to invite you to do that in the space right there in the center of Harlem. We're doing a community block party. It's on June 27th on 119th between 8th Avenue and St. Nicholas. For people who are not from Harlem, it's Frederick Douglass
Douglas, yeah.
and St. Nicholas Avenue. Um, but it's June 27th. We're doing a community pride block party. This is just strictly for the community. I want to showcase our community people. I want to showcase the youth that we're working with. And I want to showcase also our community partners. So you guys may be being honored there and you don't even know it yet. But we want to invite you. We want to invite all of your subscribers to come out and have a day full of fun, We have a lot of resources that we can give to community. We have a lot of free things that we're gonna give to community. I'm talking about free food, free drinks. We have some care packages that we're also gonna give out to the community. We're expecting at least 1,000 people, so we got over that amount of things to give to the community, and just give a big hug to Harlem and all of the surrounding boroughs of Harlem, and just giving our love back, right? I feel like our community does a lot for us, right? The fact that we are able to breathe this air is important for me. That the fact that I'm able to walk down the street and I'm safe, that's important to me. So I want to give back to the community because they see us doing our thing, and I want to make sure that we giving them a nice big hug.
That's what's up. Yo, is there anything we didn't ask you that you want to uplift or speak about?
No. I do. I just want to, again, I want to thank you, brothers. And I want to say thank you to the platform. Thank you for having me. Larnez, thank you so much for having me on this platform. Anything that I do from the beginning, Larnez has been there and in support of what I've done. And I'm just extremely thankful to you, brothers. So actually I want to ask you, is there anything I can do to highlight what you guys got going on? Because I know that there's gonna be a lot of people that could really benefit off of just even listening to this show.
Well, I'm keep. Well, Damon, go ahead and answer that question.
No, sis, we want you to keep on doing what you're doing, right? You're on the front lines, and you got youth in you. I'm becoming an old man. I ain't got that much youth in me. I might look young. My skin might look real pretty and clear.
You're looking good.
But I'm getting up there in age, so my bones don't move as well. But
I just turned 60.
Yeah, we got your back. Like whatever you need, as far as this platform, if you want to come on and talk about stuff, Larnell's gonna start having her own show. You come on and y'all just rock out, but keep on doing what you're doing in Harlem.
Thank you.
And we can support you the best, in any way we can. Oh, she disappeared. Go.
I'm sorry. I did a little screenshot because I want to post this on my social media and let them know. I gotta let them know.
And you can find this on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
Black Westchester on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I heard you, brother. What's your name, brother? You the rapper. What's your name?
AJ.
AJ.
Yeah.
I also do another thing for the young people. It's called Mic Drop Mondays, right?
Okay.
I was mentoring older young people, right? They're from the ages of 18 to 24. They are not in school and they are not working, right?
Okay.
And I was mentoring them through a program called the Self-Care and Empowerment Youth Program. And me and them, we used to really connect over music. And they taught me about different type of music. And I also had to put them on, right? I had to put them on about the Ozzy brothers. Like I had to, I'm very musically inclined. Shout out to my parents. I have to do that, right? And I created a platform for them. It's called Mic Drop Mondays. We do it at the Shrine in Harlem. I don't know if you guys know about that, but it's a world premiere venue. This is
116th?
No. It's on 133rd.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
7th Avenue.
Yeah. I was thinking about the Mist. That's what I was thinking about.
The Mist, yeah.
Yeah.
But we are at the Shrine, June 15th. So I created a platform for these young people to come and perform and do their thing. And I give them excellent footage of their performances and stuff like that. So I work and develop young artists as well. So, anything that these young people are doing, I'm doing it with them, So I want them to do it on that platform. And it's so crazy. I thought when you said what you said, I thought about you because last show we had Melly Mel come through. The GOAT. And he blessed me with getting on the mic.
One of my influences.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of
ours. He is the GOAT of music and hip hop and he's the pioneer.
him and Kaz the reason I picked up the mic. It's the two of them.
Exactly. So he you know what? He super blessed me, and he got on the mic, and he encouraged the young people to continue to do what they do, and to work on their wellness, and to keep working on their craft. So you reminded me of that. So I wanted to make sure I said that too, and I wanted to invite you guys out. We have a show, our 1 year anniversary, actually, June 15th. We're gonna be at the Shrine in Harlem on 133rd, and Adam Clayton Powell will be there. We'll be showcasing these amazing artists. This is a artist showcase, but I develop these artists. I work with them day to day. You know, I work with them. I teach them how to write. I teach them how to have stage performance. We teach them how to also get paid off of their music. So if there's anybody out there that has a young person that you're like, oh my God, my son wants to be a rapper, like, don't say, oh my God, empower them, right? We got to start to empower our young people, because we did it too. We did it too. We did it too, right? We wanted to be rappers or singers at one point, or basketball players or football. We all wanted to do that too. So I just want us to make sure that we have that mindset of, I bet you want to do this, and hold us accountable though. I'm not saying let them do anything and do whatever. No, hold them accountable. You say you wanted to be a rapper, right? You got to go to that writing workshop. You got to learn how to write.
Whatever it is you want to do, you got to work on your craft every day. You just got to work on it every day.
That's
I
right, brother.
I speak to young people all the time, and it's like, no matter what it is you want to do, if you want to be a musician or a drummer or something, you got to play that instrument every day. If you want to be,
that's right.
If you want to be a writer, you need to be writing every day. If you want to,
that's
whatever
right.
it is, you need to be working on your craft and spending some time on it every day. Even if you, they said Jordan didn't make his high school team. He got kicked. He got cut, but he spent time that whole summer, like working on his shot, working on his craft. Now we consider him one of the greatest basketball players of all time, because he worked on his craft. He believed in himself. But he could have just gave up when they cut him from that team and said, "Oh, this ain't for me," and we never would have heard of Jordan. I mean, so that's just an example for young people. But I thank you for coming on.
Thank you
for all the things you do. You have an open door policy when you want to come up, lift, everything. Let Larnez know what's going on. And you know what I'm saying? And, if I can be down there, I will be down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
absolutely. Thank you, brothers. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you, sis. Have a blessed day now. Have a blessed day.
Yo, peace. Thank you.
Yes. So that was our guest for the day. Thanks to Larnez.
Before we close.
Okay, here we go.
So, Jeff, I love you, man. He says the governor believes that mothers are mothers and fathers are fathers. And no legislation can change that. The legislation, which we will review, appears to address the technical legal issues related to surrogacy and parentage. Anyone making bad faith arguments deliberately misleading. Look, I'm not misleading a goddamn thing. They're taking mother and father off the birth certificate, Jeff. That's what they're doing, bro.
Well, I read to you exactly what it said. I read to you
exactly the terms. What is the point? What is the point for us to have independent black media to tell black people what is going on? Then y'all go quote the deceiver. We take our time to give y'all guys the information. This is what we do.
And to be clear, what we said was this passed the Senate and the Assembly and is on the governor's desk. We didn't say the governor passed this. We saying and even Naya Say, Assembly member of Naya Say, who said he voted against it, thinks that the governor is going to veto it. We just giving you the facts. So nobody's talking about what the governor believes or doesn't believe. It's just this passed the state Senate, this passed the Assembly, and it's on the governor's desk. And that's what
right. The bill takes mother and father off the birth certificate. The bill. Listen, but I mean, to post that, I mean, we already know what the governor said. Our information.
I didn't say that. What the article put up, brother? What? I'm not following you.
I don't know.
I didn't do my article yet. So
no, we didn't know.
That's exactly what they're doing.
Really what they're doing.
So, if you're talking about what somebody else wrote or what somebody else is putting out there, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I looked this up. Damon brought the stuff. I looked it up. I've reached out to our elected officials, and I told you the ones that reached out to me, they got back to me, and the ones that didn't. The ones we found out voted for it, and the ones who didn't. So, and those are the things that I'm bringing up. Now, what anybody else reported, that ain't got nothing to do with us.
Listen, no, but I'm talking strictly about the bill. Like the bill takes mother and father off the birth certificate. So if this bill passed, right after it passed, yeah, hey, John, we played it. We played it earlier. It takes it off the birth certificate. So there will not be if you have a child after this bill passed, it will not say the father Jeff Anderson. It will say gestating or non-gestating parent, whatever that is. And I've still got to figure out what that is. They're doing all this to destroy the family, to make it. Listen, let's make it. Let's say 100 to make them easy to grab these children and adopt these children. The ones who have relationships with each other that can't have children. Man, let me tell you, bro, this is so goddamn demonic. And if we can't see it at this point, I don't know what to tell you anymore. I don't even know what to say. And it's crazy how they passed it right when she's trying to run for election. And if she signs it, she might as well give it to Bruce. She might as well say, "Here, sir." But most likely she's going to veto it. She's going to veto it, and maybe they override her veto. No, I don't think they have enough votes to override the veto. I don't think they have enough votes to override the veto. Or she'll just wait till she wins and sign it.
So again, under the legislation, mother becomes gestating parent, while father is recast as non-gestating parent, simply parent. Even legal terminology as paternity cases will now be known as parentage. The rewrite pushed by state Democrats replaces traditional family terms in custody, domestic, and education law with gender-neutral alternatives.
This is
what we're talking about,
right?
And for all of you out there, the clip they showing you is Fox. I didn't get this from Fox. I got this from MSN. So this is not even Fox. So
ironically, a Hispanic politician wrote up the bill. Hey, listen. Look, I'm supporting everything y'all stand for. I didn't understand what they were doing until you explained it. All right. Listen, brother. That's what we're here for, and it's all love. But we got to be clear. And you need to be calling Andrea Stewart Cousins because she voted for it. You're in her district. You need to find out why she voted for this. As a man, because this is taking away the traditional family. This is the plan, y'all. They've been working on this for a long time. And the Black community needs traditional families. And we're losing at that game. We're losing big time.
And meanwhile, a punitive father, commonly used in cases involving an unconfirmed biological parent, will now be labeled alleged parents, the alleged parent, in official state records. So yeah, you're the alleged parent.
Wow, that's crazy. See, listen, man. I don't care what y'all say about the other side. I don't vote for the other side. I examine policy and outcomes on the other side, from both sides. But this shit here is demonic. This shit here is attack on family. And they've been doing it slowly. And nobody has been seeing it. And I've been talking about it for the last 10 years. They've been doing it slowly. From the lack of masculinity in the party. If you're a strong black man in the party, you don't get support. It is what it is. And I'm going to call it for what it is. Yes, they are slowly removing the traditional family away.
And this is an attorney right here.
Right.
What they're doing.
Oh no. Listen, he already called me, so I know he'll be wanting to do a show. Oh, listen, Jonathan,
shout out, brother Jonathan. How you doing, man?
Brother Jonathan Newton. I already know he probably got his mic ready. Wait. Oh, you, AJ, are definitely considered toxic masculine. I will believe that I'm a man of my work, but I also fighting housing fairness. No, brother, you could continue to fight the housing fairness, but you're in Yonkers. You ain't fighting Republicans. You're fighting Democrats.
Well, unlike Mount Vernon, there are Republican city council persons in Yonkers. It's mostly Democrat, but it's still mostly Democrat. Yeah, New Rochelle and Mount Vernon both have some Republican elected officials.
I mean, yeah, but you got
Mount Vernon, we only got Democrat.
You got Democrat assembly. You got a Democrat senator. You got a Democrat mayor. You got a largely Republican. I mean, a largely Democrat city council. So you're fighting Democrat. His vote don't mean nothing. At the end of the day,
even the county legislators, other than Nolan, everybody else is Democrat.
Right. Well. Listen. To me, it's the Democratic Socialists. They're a bigger threat to the progressives. They done punked the progressives. They done punked the progressives that the progressives just don't want to be progressives no more. They want to be quiet. They don't want to rock the boat.
You said there's very few normal Democrats. There's very few normal Republicans. Like with the Republican Party, like both sides have gone so far to the left and to the right, like so far left and so far right. You know what I'm saying? Like there are Republicans that I used to know that they were moderate. You know what I'm saying? There were some things we didn't agree on, but there were some things we agreed on. You know what I'm saying? There's some Democrats that those are the reach across the aisle and work together. But now it's just like you so far right and you so far left. I can't work with you because you're Republican. I can't work with you because you.
But AJ, we did not push back when the shit started going too far left. We did not call them out when it went too far left.
Well, let me be clear. So neither one of us are registered Democrat. The Democratic Party did not push back enough.
It's the Democratic Party or whatever. I still say we because I voiced my opinion.
Yeah.
Right? I say what needs to be said.
No, but we were not the ones that didn't push back. We were pushing back.
Right. But the party didn't push back.
Right.
The party didn't say anything. The party's not saying anything about AOC going in these churches and telling a whole bunch of lies in the church, and the pastor's sitting right there. Like, come on, bro. Because listen, at the end of the day, when the party doesn't push back, when them Negroes doesn't push back, the pushback from the right, the pushback from the right is against all of us.
Well, with that, it's 8:08. You can keep going, but I'm not going to be on here another half an hour.
No, but I'm just making.
No, I got something I have to do. So that's what I'm saying. So
right. I'm just making my point. The pushback is all of us. What do you say? President Parker just want a job. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because what's going on in the South with redistricting, it ain't about black people. We just had primaries in three or four states. Now, one black person said he couldn't vote. So it's not about us. It's about them losing their jobs. Period. Ain't about us. Black people can still vote. Now, one black person in California said they couldn't vote. So it's about Democrats not being able to get elected.
Okay, so with that, I'm bidding you adieu. I got something to do. No,
peace blessings, everybody.
No, it'll be 8:35 and we still be. I'll be like,
yeah. Peace out, y'all.
Thank you for watching another Blacktastic episode of the People Before Politics show. Sunday Rundown, powered by Black Westchester Magazine. We appreciate every single one of you who tuned in, commented, shared the stream, and joined the conversation. Your support is the reason independent black media continues to thrive and speak truth without fear. Every week, we show up to bring clarity, accountability, and real community insight to the stories that matter. And you show up with us. Whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, or X, we want you to know that your voice, your engagement, and your presence make this platform stronger. Thank you for rocking with Damon K. Jones, AJ Woodson, and Larnez Kinsey as we break down the issues that many outlets ignore. And thank you for supporting a space where Black thought, Black leadership, and Black truth-telling still matter.